and rising. We're going to start off with cleansing the space, smudging the space, bringing in new energy as we clear out old energy, bringing in the new moon as well as the new sun. The new moon just happened yesterday. Happy 420, by the way. Shout out to all my green dreamers, all my smokers, all my, you know who you are. So anyway, the new moon yesterday on 4/19 was in Aries at 29 degrees, right before the sun in Aries at 29 degrees moved into Taurus, and the moon moved too. So technically we had two new moons in Aries, and now we have the new moon in Aries again, but technically the new moon in Taurus as well. Hopefully y'all rock with that. Let's get busy. Okay, I'm gonna stand today because this is gonna be quick and brief. It again is about 7:45 a.m. on 4/20, dressed in green, just for y'all because I am definitely a toker. So after work today, we get busy. Now, as I said, the sun has moved into Taurus. Let me get a closer view for you. The sun has moved into Taurus, so happy Taurus season to all of you bulls, fixed earth energy. The moon has moved into Taurus where it is at its exaltation, okay? We also still have the North Node in Taurus. We have Uranus in Taurus. That's the only one left to agree on because Uranus moves slower. We have Mercury in Taurus. I took off all the other ones, as you notice, because I just want to concentrate on what's in Taurus, as well as what is opposing the South Node in Scorpio, as well as another fixed sign that is squaring off. So we have some squares to talk about, and we definitely have some conjunctions to talk about. So I left conjunction up here because we have the sun conjunct the moon. It was also conjunct when it was in Aries just a few hours ago. And we're gonna have all these things conjunct the sun and the moon today. The moon will conjunct the North Node as it already is, because the North Node is around 3 degrees now. The sun is in its 0 degrees. The moon is around 0 to 3 degrees. It moved into Taurus overnight about 4:13 a.m. this time, so it's been about in Taurus about 3 hours. The sun actually moves into Taurus, or just moved into Taurus. I had to check the time. And Mercury's been in Taurus. It's about in its middle degree now too. So the moon will conjunct all of these planets and aspects. And this is not a planet, this is a node today, as well as opposing the South Node, as all these things will oppose the South Node as well in Taurus. This is the final Taurus and Scorpio energy. The eclipse happened in Aries because the nodes are about to change to Aries and Libra in 2 months. But the final eclipse will be when the moon moves into Scorpio for the Taurus and Scorpio North Node and South Node energy. The final eclipse will be on May the 5th in Scorpio for a lunar eclipse. And then just to total all that up, good old Pluto here in the fixed air energy of Aquarius is at 0 degrees. So that is squaring. Where's my square shine? I should have had it ready for y'all. Squaring, which is conflicted energy with not only the sun today, because the sun is in 0 degrees as well, but the moon is squaring Pluto as well. So we have all these energies, this fixed energy, this persistent energy, towards this stubborn energy. But with Uranus squaring, well, it's not going to square Pluto because Uranus is in the second decan and Pluto's still in the first, getting ready to go back. And Pluto really won't be squaring Uranus probably until Uranus is getting ready to switch. And that might even happen because Pluto moves so slow. Anyway, Pluto will and is squaring the moon and the sun. And let's get into what that means. A solar eclipse is when the new moon is conjunct the sun. Okay, so again, yesterday, Aries sun, the sun was in Aries at 29 degrees, and so was the moon right before it moved into Taurus, right before they both moved into Taurus. This is also going to happen when the nodes switch from Aries to Taurus. We'll talk about that later, but this is the second time, as I said, that Aries, the new moon has been in Aries. At the beginning of Aries season, the new moon was in Aries at 0 degrees, and it's the same thing at the end. This is happening at anaretic degrees. 0 is an anaretic degree, 29 is an anaretic degree. All the signs go through 0 to 29 degrees until they move into the next zodiac sign, as we did today, right? This morning, as the moon and the sun both moved into the 0 degree of Taurus. All right, so 0 degree is creation. It's starting new. The middle degrees around 15, 14, 16, where Uranus is now, is perseverance. And the 29th degree, the last degree, is the weakest, but the most maturest. It's when the most mature. It's when things are deteriorating, things are done, they are dying out, which is exactly what Pluto just went through when it left Capricorn in the 29th degree. Pluto returned. Everything is weakening, everything is ending. As you notice, the dollar, the government, big corporations, big pharma, all those kind of things are ending, whether you are noticing or not. And Aries energy, before we go into fixed energy, is cardinal energy, cardinal fire. So that's initiation, and that is starting things. Also, fire signs are, what is the word I'm looking for? They are inspiring the other eye. So Aries is usually the starter of things, but we were at the end of the Aries. So Aries is kind of like starting and ending at the same time, the Aries energy. So this is a turning point. This is transition, especially with the transformational planet Pluto in fixed air, now squaring the sun and the moon in fixed earth. Okay, that's like trying to blow through a rock to break it. But it's possible. In the strong winds coming from Pluto, it's very possible. So this is also known as a hybrid solar eclipse. And let me explain what that means. Again, when you have a solar eclipse, the moon is moving in front of the sun, appearing to be the same size, blocking it. When you have a hybrid solar eclipse, meaning that the 29th degree, the anaretic degree, is ending and beginning things, the moon kind of creates a burn, a sizzle with the sun at first, before it's like a ring of fire coming in, and then it appears to block it. So it's doing two things. It's blending, it's conjuncting with the sun. The moon is conjuncting with the sun and creating that fire energy from Aries to initiate and inspire something else to begin. And once the moon has covered the sun completely, that is when something ends. And once it moves on, that is when we start something new. And this is about, Aries energy is about ego. It's about self-realization, self-care, selfish sometimes. And you haven't really met this version of yourself, okay? This happens a few times a century when we have two new moons, and they happen to also be in eclipse, where the moon and the sun are making, like we said, this ring of fire energy, this revelation, this aha moment. And as individuals, because Aries deals with you, your first beginning, even if you don't have Aries placements, if you don't have an Aries sun, it's a new beginning for us all over the collective. As well as what I always say, Happy New Year in Aries season. Okay, but all in all, we all are changing, especially with the Aries energy that was sextiling the Aquarius energy and Pluto. Lots of transformation, lots of death and rebirth. As follows, after we've talked about the Aries eclipse, now we're in this new sun and the new moon in Taurus still, right? Squaring off with Pluto, okay? They're both at 0 degrees, as I said. Again, the moon moves faster than the sun. The sun switches a degree every day. The moon switches degrees every few hours because it switches signs every 2 days. So Pluto at 0 degrees of Taurus, of Aquarius, and squaring the sun at 0 degrees is like the earth and the air energy are not compatible. So it's like I said, it's like, but the fixed energy is also very stubborn. So it's like taking really strong air and blowing a really big boulder. All right. This is intellectual because we're dealing with air sign of Aquarius. And this is also grounding because we're dealing with the earth sign of Taurus. So this is like Phoenix energy with the Pluto energy, especially having this awakening. And it's also groundbreaking energy with Uranus even in this mix, but not totally. It's not part of the square, but Uranus being another collective planet in Taurus doesn't want to really break through, but surprise, we're going to have to do this anyway kind of energy. It's like evolve or, but you know, there's going to be people that don't evolve the way others do. Nonetheless, Pluto is going to make it happen for us all. Then this Taurus energy means reconsidering. So the conflict is we don't really like to change. We're fixed in this energy, but reconsidering your values. Taurus represents values, what we desire, what we want for ourselves financially, in our relationships, in love, what we want for ourselves, basically. And then Mercury actually goes retrograde tomorrow, and it's in Taurus. So this is all important because this is like back-to-back energy. First we have the Aries eclipse, then we have the Taurus new moon, which is tied to the Aries eclipse. Then we have Taurus season starting today. Then we have this square with the biggest entity overall in the sky with the collective energy squaring off. And then we have Mercury going into retrograde all at the same time. When Mercury goes into retrograde, it's going to conjunct, because like I said, Mercury is around the middle decan as well. Don't know the exact, I will put it up right before or at the end of this clip, but Mercury will conjunct Uranus. Okay, so we're talking about conjunction again. And this is like surprise communication, surprise information, especially in retrograde. It's information we're going to have to reconsider. Like I said, the values that we have had with Uranus being in Taurus since 2011 have been changing, and they'll continue to change. And this is really a rebirth again with the Pluto energy in an explosive way, and not forcing, but encouraging us intensely to reevaluate things, with as all retrogrades are. Mercury and Taurus reevaluating how we communicate in a loving way, how we communicate with ourselves. We especially reevaluating our finances and all the Taurus things. I'm trying to be quick. So to wrap this up, again, the nodes are switching from Taurus and Scorpio to Aries and Libra in 2 months in the middle of July. And this eclipse set off that. This eclipse is showing us how we need to reevaluate ourselves with Aries energy. Libra energy is how we relate to others. And we're moving into that with this eclipse. With the fixed energy, all the things in Taurus, reevaluating with Mercury going in retrograde tomorrow. Retrograde lasts for 3 weeks. The shadow is 10 days before, so we've already been in this energy, and 10 days after. So we will be out of this energy, let's say, towards the end of May. And just with Uranus also controlling all of this, with the Taurus energy, the sun is now controlling Uranus with being in Taurus. The Uranian energy is innovation, especially with finances in Taurus. So figuring out ways how to reevaluate our finances, like I said, especially because the Pluto energy is humanitarian energy in Aquarius. And as a collective, we all have to figure out a way to tough through see, Mercury retrograde makes you tongue-tied too. So, what is it called? Inflation. We have to figure out inflation, ways to work with each other, bartering, how to come together and decide, are we going to stop paying bills, or we're going to stop voting in people that really don't work well for us. Think of the things that are going on in Chicago and that mayor. I don't know if you're hip to that, look that up. But just a lot of things that humanity has to wake up and realize and reevaluate, especially, like I said, with finances, especially with self. Mars is in Cancer, so that's especially with home, sextile, and all the things that are Taurus. That's earth and water energy. We've got a lot to think about. So hopefully this helps and gets you motivated and gets you catapulting, which is what eclipses do, into the right direction in order to take over and self-evaluate and be able to carry yourself into the next new energy. Have a wonderful 420 to all of my tokers out there, and I will be back soon. Peace. TMZ, teaching everyone abundantly, empowering many. Zakia, enlightening every day. A for Aries. Y'all had a great run. Taurus is y'all up next. My daughter's birthday is also on the 22nd, which is known as Earth Day. It's a green week. Let's get these finances in. Let's manifest this money. Let's manifest this new energy. Shout out to Rashad Jamal, free Rashad Jamal. Shout out to all my loved ones. Again, all my Tauruses. My mother's a Taurus too, May the 6th. My ex-husband was April 27th. He got me some finances with doing my taxes. So shout out to the Tauruses, and let's get this money. It's money season too, and Taurus season. Peace, y'all.